Hello, today we're going to be doing an oil change on our Porsche GT4, which is a great vehicle for a Porsche oil change guide because it's a Cayman body with a 911S motor. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now I lifted up this GT4 using the quick jack system, but you could use any method you want. You just want to make sure that you understand how the jacking points work. A lot of places like Flat Six Motorsports and other shops offer adapters so you can make sure that you lift up the vehicle correctly. Now with our vehicle, we're using a quick jack. As I said before, I'm going to add some additional jacks, but you just want to be safe and make sure that your car is safe and that you're safe. Okay, we're going to go ahead and drain the oil. We have our ratchet here with a short extension and then number 8 hex bit socket. Another tip is we're going to use physics. We're going to go ahead and get to the oil cap and we're going to loosen the oil cap. And the reason why is it's going to help the oil drain a little easier. Now I've placed an oil pan underneath the drain bolt. So let's go ahead and remove that drain bolt. One of the things I recommend is make sure that you have some paper towels or shop towels handy because your hand will get dirty. And I'm also wearing safety glasses because of the height. So I felt like the regular ratchet wasn't doing the job and it was flexing a little bit. So I went ahead and made sure that I wanted to get it off without stripping it. So I used the breaker bar and it did the job right away. So now we could simply unbolt it. At this point in time, we're going to go ahead and let this drain for about 15 minutes. Okay, so here is our drain plug. And this is our old washer, and I have a new washer from Porsche, and I'll go ahead and put those part numbers or where you could buy that if that helps out. But as well, I always have an extra plug on hand. I know the new plug looks older than the older one, but that's how it showed up. And when I called Porsche, they said that this is kind of normal. A lot of people called them about this and said, you know, why do the plugs look like this? But that's just how they were manufactured. All right, so let's go ahead and put the new washer on the drain plug. We're going to use the original one because the drain plug still looks good. And a fun fact, a lot of people always ask where the flat side goes. Flat side always goes against the bolt itself. So essentially when it crushes, the beveled side or the side with a type of form or shape is going to crush against and form against the pan itself. All right, let's go ahead and put this drain bolt in. Okay, so this has been draining for about 20 minutes, and as you can see, it's still draining. We even got a different oil pan because we wanted to make sure that we caught everything. Okay, let's go ahead and put the drain bolt in. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hand tighten it first. Just make sure that it goes in nice and smooth. And now we're going to go ahead and tighten it down and torque it to 37 foot-pounds of torque. So now we're going to remove the oil filter. And if you look here, this is my setup. Essentially, you want to get an oil filter adapter, but you can't get to it directly, so I have to get a swivel on it. And then, of course, I have to get a step-down adapter. And then I have to get an extension. And at that point in time, we should be able to get to the oil filter. So let's go remove that. Okay, now we have our oil filter adapter on there, and I'm going to start removing it. As you can see, it's turning slowly. And at this point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put some paper towels or shop towels just to try to catch as much as the oil, because it is going to leak down on the car itself. Now you have to remove the adapter so you can get the oil filter out. So we have our new oil filter here, and when I ordered it from Porsche, it came with the oil filter itself and the casing, so that's what we're going to use. So let's go ahead and put this on. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the new oil filter in. I'm just going to go ahead and line it up and start it. And we're going to torque down the oil filter to 19 foot-pounds. That's it. Now what I did is, just because of the way that you fill the oil in a GT4, I put together this so we don't spill anything, and you'll see why this will help us out. So we're now going to put our funnel in here. See what I was telling you about as far as having some protection, just in case there's any splash. The GT4 is one of those where you have to be careful with, because everything is in the compartment. Luckily, I have some all-weather mat from down here to protect, but here we go. So we're going to put in this whole entire container, which is 5 liters, and our goal is to get to 7, so we're going to open up a second one here in a second. And here's our second one, and we're going to be putting in, we're going to go all the way down to the 2.5, and then we're going to top off accordingly. And now we're going to go ahead and put our filter cap back in. Go ahead and wipe everything down, and then put our top. So we added roughly around 7 quarts of oil, and at this point in time we're going to check our oil measurement using the car's oil measurement feature. Now, some of the constraints that you need to make sure you fulfill before you get a measurement is the car needs to be cycled, it needs to be at 90 degrees Celsius and above, and essentially you have to turn off the car and let the oil, let it drain down, and then get a measurement. So we went for a drive, I let the car sit for 10 minutes, and let's look at our oil measurement. So if you're familiar with your info center and your layout of your electronics, essentially what you want to do is you want to be in the area where you have all the information displayed like this. You're going to go ahead and go into that section, and you'll see oil measurement. Go ahead and scroll down and hit oil measurement. If you see, our oil says okay, but it's in the bottom of this hash mark. Now, between these hash marks, as per the manual, that is 1.7 liters. So we need to add just a little bit more oil, but it says okay. So guys, that's it. I'm going to top off the oil, and our oil change is done. Well, if you have any questions or comments, please do leave them below. And we always welcome you to subscribe, because if you found this video helpful, by subscribing, it helps us. And also, if we come out with a video that you guys might like in the future, it lets you know. Well, thank you for watching. You guys stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.